Alright, this is a build update for the 3.13 cast on crit ball lightning Inquisitor using Mjolnir. And in the endgame, meh. Single target, just meh. For bossing and C16's survivability is fine until you do get a really bad one shot or a really bad crit, and then but other than that, the single target bossing, it just takes forever to kill a boss. Um, in At the end of this video, you'll see me fighting Kosis and a couple other things on a T16 100% Delirious map with Drox, and yeah, it was pretty insane, this map. I'm pretty sure it took me about another 40 minutes just to do that single map. Anyway, it Deathless Kosis. I died a few times going into the map because, well, at the beginning because I ran into a big pack of Harbingers because it was a Valda's Rest map, and I picked up the Harbinger nodes on the Valda's Rest tree, which is great, by the way, if you want to farm Ancient Orbs. And Ancient Orbs are selling for a lot right now. I believe 4 Ancient Orbs are an Exalt, and with these two nodes, you're gonna basically get a few Ancient Orb shards every map, and so you can farm Ancient Orbs really easily that way. Anyway, so yeah, at the beginning of the map, I was using Light of Lunaris, and I switched to this shield for a while because the DPS was just not that much to rant and rave about. Got my ass handed to me when I ran to that big pack of Harbingers, and also ran to Omniphobia and got my ass kicked. So then, after about 2 times getting my ass kicked, I said, nope, let's switch back to Aegis Aurora. And then I didn't die again until I ran into a pack of. I opened up a unique chest that spawned torment ghosts, and they had silence on them, and they silenced me, and I couldn't kill them. So that's been a big problem this league, or is all the silence ghosts in the rituals and things like that. You basically need a stupid freaking corrupt jewel just to silence, just so that you're immune to silence if you are any casting any spells this league. So, and it happens often, the silence ghosts, and it just happened in this freaking this freaking unique unique strongbox that I opened that spawned torment ghosts. So that's another downside to playing any spell builds right now, or all those stupid torment ghosts and the silence. Again, you just need a silence jewel, but you kind of have to go out of your way to to get one. Anyway, let's review the build a little bit. My build name is I Said What I Said. Shout out to Miss Tamisha Iman from RuPaul's Drag Race again, because she said what she said. And I am with the Aegis Aurora. I'm at about 51k energy shield, 60,000 armor, 87% fizz reduction, and I'm packing all this armor from using Skin of the Lords with the Iron Reflexes Keystone. And with the because I have Iron Reflexes, I'm using Grace Aura, I'm using Determination Aura, and all that evasion gets turned into armor. That's why I have so much armor. And with the Aegis Aurora, this is what saved me for the rest of that map, was the replenishes energy shield by 2% of armor when you block. So every time I blocked, without flasks up, I gained 1.2k energy shield back. And so you get hit, you block, and you replenish. Um, and with flasks up, I have 154,000 armor. You get hit, you block, you replenish 2% of that armor as energy shield. And so it's pretty hard to get killed when you have an Aegis Aurora. The one of the biggest weaknesses of this build is probably just dot effects. If you can later in the video when you watch me fight Kosis, you'll see that um, when he starts doing the little ground dot effect, I kind of have to move out of the way to make sure that it doesn't start bringing me down. Yeah. Some changes I've made to this build. I got a Assassin's Mark ring. I did have to give up a socket. Well, actually, I was using a socket to do Assassin's Mark when on cast when damage taken. It was level 20 cast when damage taken, level 20 cast Assassin's Mark. The downside about that is you got to get hit enough for that to proc, and even when that procs, it doesn't last forever. And so I decided to get a ring instead, and the quality of life with this ring is a lot nicer because it'll trigger the Assassin's Mark right away when you hit a rare or unique, and that'll start allowing you to do more damage to them right away instead of you having to take damage first before you do damage to them. I bought this ring for about 2 exalts. I needed a little bit of strength and I needed some energy shield, and they just already had the minimum endurance charges crafted on there, which is nice. Gives me a little bit of phys reduction, and yeah. So that's one of the big changes I've made to my build, was just swapping out changing up where I'm getting Assassin's Mark. Like I said, I was using Light of Lunaris. If I'm just doing regular mapping and not 100% Delirious maps, I'll probably continue to use Light of Lunaris. I bought this one with Determination for, I think, for like 2 exalts, um, because having that implicit just allows me, it saves me an extra socket. And so since I had an extra socket open, I decided to do Castle Damage Taken, Blade Blast, and I decided to add Culling Strike to it. Just so, um, you know, when those moments are getting dicey right at the end, you can almost reliably use Culling Strike to kill something if they hit you. Um, yeah, so if you want to learn more about the origins of this build, I have a previous video, but I'll show you one more thing I changed on my passive tree. I originally went to the left of the Templar tree to pick up these extra strength nodes because I needed it, but I believe I got a different ring as well, and this ring has a lot of strength on it, and so that kind of made up for some of my strength needs, as well as I picked up a lethal pride jewel. And this jewel makes it so that all of these smaller nodes that are allocated within this area give you extra strength. So, like these little intelligence nodes will give you 2 strength. These nodes here will give you 4 strength. And then each of the notables have a special effect. Like this notable gives 5% extra strength now, and this notable gives 20% armor, and this notable gives 5% chance to deal double damage. That's pretty huge. The 5% to deal double damage. I've been a bad boy, and I have been using a lot of divine orbs on these lethal prides to try to get one which will give me like 2 notables with double damage, because it's possible to get notables with the same effects in so for example, like if I had strength, let's see here. Well, all of them are giving me strength. If I said like percent strength, 5% strength, no, I guess just this one, or 5% strength. Let's see. Meh, you get the point. Oh, found one. Okay, so for instance, this one gives 5% increased strength as well. So, all the notables within the area can change based on this very large number within the lethal pride jewel. And so these lethal pride jewels and all the timeless jewels have different effects based on that number. And so every time you re-roll it, all the notables will change. And so this is one upgrade I've made to my build as well. The double damage is nice. The armor is nice. I kept rolling until I got one that um, had some stats that I needed, and this increased strength is nice as well. Ideally, I would love another double damage node, maybe in place of the increased armor. Um, yeah, that would be nice. The 10% chance to deal double damage would be great. Um, Small clusters all stay the same. Um, Still have this really nice crit multi jewel. I had to find a way to get another jewel socket, so that's why I respect going to this side of the tree, just so I can get closer to this jewel socket here as well. And because instead of taking these strength nodes. So yeah, overall, fun build to play. Spin to win is a lot of fun. Just the single target damage is really overwhelming. Yeah, you can last long in a fight. Like you'll see me fight Kosis, and it just takes forever. And it's kind of fun because you're like you can just sit there and take hits, and it's great. But it just does take a while. And yeah, there are some builds out there that could wipe out 100% Delirious map easier, but they're also a lot more risky. And if you're an amateur player like me and you just don't play that much because you work a full-time job plus side jobs and everything like that, um, you know, you kind of want to play builds that where you don't, have where you aren't rage quitting games because you're dying all the time. So playing a build for dummies like this, where you're really tanky, is kind of fun. It's just when you get to the end game and you're taking forever to kill things, it does get a little frustrating. So enjoy the video of me me in the 100% Delirious map. I cut out clips here and there so you don't have to watch me picking up a bunch of crap or watch me walk through a bunch of things. The first part you'll see me dying a few times, which I think is good for you to see the difference between me using the lighter Lunaris Shield versus me using the Aegis Aurora Shield and the survivability. And basically, my PC was ready to crash at that point because there's when you run into a big Harbinger pack like that, it's just insane. And then you'll see me fight Kosis, and then I'll show a little bit of fighting the map boss as well, which also took forever. Thanks for watching my videos. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Bye!